welcome back viewers. Recently I made a video about the epigraphical evidence of Sanskrit language, and showed that according to Indian scientists, in the entire world, we have no proof of Sanskrit epigraph, or simply say, Sanskrit inscriptions, before 125 AD. Which also proves that, Sanskrit is not an oldest language as normal people thought until now. Therefore, in this video, I will use the same standard to another language, known as Hebrew and Greek, the language of the Bible. I will use that same standard to our Bible, which I have applied to Sanskrit, and let's see whether the Bible is telling the history as accurate, or it's just another man-written book, which writes about past to prove its authority, like other holy books does. One of the story mentioned in the Bible, and some scholars deny it as a history. But, why does scholars do that? Because it proves, Bible is accurate, and also a historically accurate book. They deny, the Exodus. They deny that, Israelites were never in Egypt as slave, and after 400 years passed, Moses led them out of Egypt as free people. Because this is a video about epigraphical evidence, I will not show geographical, or any other proof which I have with me to prove the existence of Moses. What I will show, is the epigraphical proof the language which Moses, and Israelites spoke that time. And that time was according to Bible, was about 1500 to 2000 BC. We have the Hebrew epigraphical evidence in Egypt, which is the time of Joseph, through Moses. Dr. Douglas Petrovich is an archaeologist, epigrapher, and professor of ancient Egyptian studies at Wilfrid Laurier University in Waterloo, Canada. He wrote a book named The World's Oldest Alphabet. Just go to Google, type Sinai inscription, and search. You will see a lot of epigraphs written on those ancient stones. Dr. Douglas, after researching years on these ancient stone inscription, he deciphered 17 inscriptions, and in this video, I will show on 1 or 2 examples of those inscriptions. First stone. The Sinai 115. He deciphered 6 inscriptions on that stone. Found these 6 short sentences. Here he found the direct word Hebrews, mentioned on that stone. Second stone. The Sinai 365a found 2 short sentences. Ahisamach, and overseer of minerals. And this name Ahisamach, is mentioned in the Bible in Exodus chapter 38 verse 23. Third stone. The Sinai 361. It is written our bound servitude had lingered. Moses then provoked astonishment. It is the year of astonishment, because of the lady. Again, direct name of Moses, was found in an ancient stone in Egypt. Isn't this amazing? And some scholars says, Moses never existed. And all these inscription dated, from 1842 to 1442 BC. From the time Joseph, to Moses. This is an amazing proof, which confirms, that Hebrew people lived in Egypt, and they spoke Hebrew language. Now, another epigraphical evidence from 10th century BC, which is the time of King David of the Bible. This inscription is found in Elah Valley. Here, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu himself, visiting to see his ancestors' history. And this inscription can still be seen in the University of Haifa. Research done by Professor Gershon Galil, of the Department of Biblical Studies at the University of Haifa. One of the inscriptions describes about the assassination of Eshbal. Now, this name Eshbal is mentioned in the Bible. Eshbal was the son of Saul, brother-in-law of King David. Now, here is another rock inscription, consist of 5 sentences as you see, written in Hebrew language. And this rocks was found in this location here, shown in the government website of Israel. This is a government website run by Department of Archaeological and all. This officials confirms that this inscription was from 10th century B.C., the time of King David. And here is the English translation of that inscription. These are the biblical writings, and biblical teachings, found on that rock. You shall not do, but worship the Lord. Judge the slave, and the widow. Judge the orphan. And many others. So, until now, we have seen the language of Old Testament, which is Hebrew language which dates back to 2000 BC. And writings, which match exactly what is written in the Holy Bible. Now it's time to see the epigraphical proof of Greek language, the language of New Testament of the Bible. Everyone in India, or say in the world, knows about the Emperor Ashoka. He was one of the greatest emperor that the world has seen. We have epigraphical proof across India, which proves that Ashoka was an historical person, and he really existed, and ruled India. Do you know what are the languages found on all those Ashoka's inscriptions? It was not Sanskrit. It was not Hindi. It is Tamil, Greek, and Aramaic. We have pillar edicts, major rock edicts, and minor rocks edicts of Ashoka, which was collected from all over his kingdom, and the language was found on all those inscription of Ashoka's kingdom, or say across India, was in Greek, Tamil, Aramaic, but not a single epigraphical inscription of Sanskrit. Here is a rock edicts found from Kandahar, also known as Kandahar Edicts of Ashoka. It is a bilingual inscription, and the languages are Greek and Aramaic, by King Ashoka, from Kandahar, and stored in Kabul Museum. Even after showing people all these amazing proofs, many people still argue and deny the truth. Okay. Let's see what an Indian Hindu scholar says about Sanskrit language. He was an Indian Hindu, who was a scholar of Malayalam language, Sanskrit language, and Tamil language. His name was Sri Chatampi Swamigal, who lived from 25th of August 1853, to 5th of May 1924. For all of your information, he was a traditional Hindu guru, and a critic of Christians. Means he criticized Christians. Many of our viewers don't know the meaning of critics. So, he himself says in his book Name, the First Language. In his book, he proposed that Tamil is the first language. Then later, Sanskrit came along. So, I pledge you to buy his book, and read for yourself. That's it, guys. I have shown some evidence out of many to show which is true, and which is not.